third signing of the year, our last signing, and it's a neat day getting to see these athletes, these student athletes that are moving on to the next level. So I do want to thank you guys, to you parents especially. Thanks for all the time you've done with your son or daughter to get them to this point. So it's a neat day. It's a fun day. Even better that we're winding down the school year. So hopefully it'll go smooth. But again, I want to thank everybody that's here. So Coach Basting's going to start us off first today.
Let me know when we're good.
All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Coach Basting, filling in for Coach Alban today. He welcomed his third child in, I don't know, a handful of hours ago. So, like I said, filling in. Yeah, you can give a... But so fortunately enough, though, this athlete, Steele Zeller, if you want to come on up here. So I have had the pleasure to coach Steele here over the last couple years. So 3 years ago, when Steele was a sophomore, what I can say about him as a young athlete, he was wanting to contribute, really a team guy, and we were trying to kind of figure out where he fits in, where he can contribute to the team, and he had an open mind and was willing to take on the challenge of the hurdles, and not necessarily an easy event, but over the course of the last 3 years, especially over this last summer, we really saw some strides taking place where he was diligent, worked hard, worked on that form, worked on that speed, and was able to really be a contributing member here to the team. Has the school record in the 60 hurdles this past indoor season, so that's a huge accomplishment there. That's a pretty good record, so I think all our records on the record board are pretty special, so it was nice to see you get that, and just that consistency across the board, somebody that we can count on, and our team titles from a conference standpoint in intercity and outdoor conference are something that we really hold as great importance. And it's nice that we can count on Steele to really show up and compete. And that's not only on race days, that's every day at practice too as well. Somebody that just kind of doesn't say much, goes, bites down and just gets it done. So really special athlete here. Excited that you're taking your talents to the next level, and really excited to see what you do, because you're still pretty young in the hurdle game, and I think it'll be something special here for you. So I'm gonna give you the opportunity to speak here too as well.
Thanks for everyone showing up today. It really means a lot. I just wanted to thank my family, friends, and coaches for believing in me and pushing me to the best of my abilities. Like Coach said, this is my second year of doing hurdles, and being able to break the record is really special to me. And I wouldn't be here where I am today without my family and coaches and all my teammates. So thank everyone for all that support.
Zeke Rice.
Hey Zeke, what number are you on the cross country list? 6?
Boy.
I am Coach Wetzel. I am also filling in for Coach Alban. I'm the distance track coach, so I've known Zeke. This is my second season working with the distance here at West. So I did not get to see him for a full year as I was not helping out during cross country. But all I can say about Zeke is, especially off the racetrack and just outside of like daily practice, Zeke is probably the type of guy you want to be. He's very diligent with his schoolwork, very diligent with what his family is about and what his family wants him to do. And I think that's just mindset has led to him have great success cross country wise and during the distance track events, as for all the longer distances, you just got to be able to stay mentally tough as you battle throughout it. And I've seen Zeke just stay very determined throughout the 2 years that I've known him, as he's had multiple things he's kind of had to overcome. Last year, he got sick right before his biggest race of the season at that point, which he was in great shape, but then he couldn't race, but then he bounced back. And I would say your best race was sectionals last year at the track. I know you were just off the state meet, but that didn't stop you from going out there and competing hard. He's been a major part of last year's indoor and outdoor conference championship teams. He's was a part of our indoor championship team this year, and he's looking to do as much as he can for us at the intercity meet next week and at outdoor championship here in early May. Cross country wise, like I said, I wasn't able to ever coach him, but I've watched him from afar. He finished with a PR of 15-13, an all-state qualifier, and he's all conference probably multiple years, I would say. He's number 6 all time in the school history, so that's a pretty big deal. And it's just every day, you know, Zeke's going to come here, positive attitude, ready to train. He's not going to be the loudest guy on the team, but he's going to go out there, lead by example, and show really the younger guys especially what you're expected to do day in, day out. And if you want to be the best you can be, Zeke's a great guy to model yourself off of.
Just thank you everyone here that came here to support. Charlie, thank you for those words. I just want to say a big thank you. I know Coach Aubin's not here, but to Coach Aubin, who's been with me all 4 years, 3 years of cross country, 4 years of track, just been a great influence on me. And to all of my coaches, I've been blessed to not really have a situation where I've had necessarily a bad coach. Just loved all of my coaches, so thank you for that. To my teammates, thank you so much just for just having a great bond with me the past 4 years. And yeah, just thank you everyone here today who supported me.
That brings us to our other distance track runner and cross country runner who's signed on to run in college. That is Johnnie. Similar with Zeke, I also only coached Johnnie during the last 2 seasons of track and field. I was not with them during cross country, as Coach Aubin and Coach Rogers and Coach Starkey and Coach Basting were more the primary coaches for most of their time here. So, but what I can say from observing Johnnie from last year compared to this year is he's made great strides on the track with his times being cut down. He was mostly JV guy last year, and he's took great strides this year into becoming a guy that I know every roster I'm making, I'm putting him in something. I don't always know what it will be, but he's worked hard. He's earned his spot on the roster. He was part of our indoor conference championship team. He played a key role in that meet in the 4x8. He got to go to indoor prep top times, which for those that don't know is our indoor state meet basically. He was part of that team, ran a great leg, and he's just fought hard throughout the 2 years that I've known him, and he's just earned his spot on the team. He's also been the guy that I can count on every practice, especially at the end or in the beginning, to lead the warm-ups, lead the stretches at the end, make sure everyone's doing what they're doing. And for me, that's been a big help, because the big difference between, I would say, the team that I coached last year and the team this year is there was just kind of a hole in the leadership. And Johnny's stepped up this year to really fill that void, and he's brought the team. I feel like they're more cohesive, more focused every day. Less guys just doing their own thing, and just one unit working towards the main goal, which is to win as many championships as we can and to just grow as runners. A couple of accomplishments that Johnnie had cross country. He was a cross country sectional qualifier. He dropped his mile PR under 5. That was the first time, right? For the first time this past weekend with a 4:53 mile. So it's been exciting to watch him grow, and also just to see him grow in the 800 as well, which he's been a main part of our relay. And I'm just really excited to see both these guys compete at the next level and just kind of see what they do.
Thank you for everyone that coming out here. I want to just give a thanks to my coaches, friends, and family for pushing me to the ability that I am at the moment. When I started my running career, 6th grade, Parkside, I never thought that I'd be at the point I am now. So I just want to thank everybody. Come support me and push me to the point that I am right now.
Jaxon Hill. You ready? I talked with him. Yeah. Yep. So, hey everybody, Coach Basting again. We got a dual athlete over here in Jaxon Hill. So he's going to be running track and football next year. So I'm going to talk a little bit about his track accomplishments and kind of who he is as a track athlete, and then kind of give the opportunity on the football coach to go ahead and hop over and kind of talk about his football. From a track standpoint, Jaxon has always been a contributor to the team and really brings kind of a fun light to it. Always a positive attitude. And I think that really trickles down not only to his peers as upperclassmen, but then also at the lower classmen level too. Also sets a standard for what it means to bring some intensity come workout time, especially in the weight room too as well. I know that you get after it in the weight room, and I think other people really see that and kind of latch onto that and really feel like they need to step their game up too as well. So same thing with a Steele. Jaxon, very much a team guy, contributor as an individual, contributor on the relays especially too. So talking about some of your accomplishments for everybody. We got an indoor 4x2 school record. Competed at that indoor state track meet too as well that Charlie alluded to. And then just recently took down a 4x1 school record. And that team was 6th, I want to say, in state. So, and that was the first time we got to stick around. So a lot more to come here when it comes to that 4x1. And it's just going to get better and better, not only from the end of the year, from now to the end of the year, but even next year. I was happy to hear that you were competing in track. I think that that speed is obviously going to translate well, kind of across the board. But appreciate everything that you do bring to the track team. Like I said, from attitude and just intensity, and just kind of showing these guys how to move and what it means to be a true steward of the sport here. So appreciate you, and like I said, looking forward to the next level, man.
Thank you. All right. So I'm here to introduce the part about Jaxon playing football at Platteville. Just a couple things that I typically like to go over. Usually kind of go over statistics and then some characteristics that I think are very valuable about the individual I'm talking about. And then always like to talk about my favorite memory that I have of these guys playing football for us. So Jaxon, over the course of his career here, played a lot of different roles for us. Obviously kick returner, cornerback, safety, running back. Obviously was more of a defensive player, but had 94 yards rushing and a touchdown. As a defensive player for our varsity team, he had 79 tackles, 3 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, 1.5 sacks, and then 6 tackles for loss, which is quite a monumental thing if you think about where he plays from to get tackles for losses. Okay, he's playing 8 yards back, and it's pretty impressive. He was voted first team Big 12 all-conference defensive back by the other coaches in the conference this year. Overall, before I get into some of the characteristics, Jaxon is just the type of guy that is a coach's dream. He does everything that you could possibly ask for, and he does it at a very high level. His outstanding work ethic is both on the field and off the field. Constantly he's pushing himself in the weight room, setting the example for everybody else and those to come. He's a multi-sport athlete, which I love. Obviously excels in track in addition to football. He's outstanding in the classroom, and quite honestly, it's just a great representation of what a normal West student athlete should look like. Next characteristic is that he's unselfish. He's always willing to do what was best for the team. He was a constant on scout team, always wanting to, make our team better. A lot of guys would take time off. Jaxon was always jumping in there, getting extra work, and quite honestly, just challenging his teammates to get better. Which over the course of his time here, we absolutely did. Another example of Jaxon's unselfish mindset, and I'm sure this is a fond memory for him. Over the course of his sophomore JV season, obviously played a little bit of multiple defensive back positions. I think he played a little bit of wide receiver at times. I believe he was in a running back quite a bit. And I do think he even dabbled in a little quarterback, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, there you go. We had some tough run on injuries, I think, that his sophomore year. So, I think Coach Tucker lined him up, or Coach Thornton might have lined him up at quarterback a couple times. But you do that with a guy because you trust him, right? And that's what it comes down to. As coaches, obviously for varsity, he played corner his junior year at an extremely high level. As coaches, you always evaluate the season. We took a look at what was coming back for his senior year, and we just felt like safety was both the better position for Jaxon and what his ability is, as well as what made our team better. We asked Jaxon to make that change in the summer, and he had zero hesitation, at least that he let us know about, switching over to safety. I'm sure maybe privately he had other thoughts, but he thrived at the new position. He was an extremely physical football player and made life very difficult for offenses to run to his side, as noted by the 6.5 tackles for losses. The last characteristic of Jaxon is that he's a leader. In regards to what we see in the classroom and on the football field, he's a man of few words. I don't know if he's like that at home, but he's not. Okay, all right. But he is a man of few words. Walking the halls and practicing here. But he definitely had his way of communicating and leading. He elevated his teammates during tough situations. You could see him always trying to pick his teammates up after a tough play. And he understood that it was always about moving forward. And then quite honestly, he was just kind of setting the standard for what effort and attitude looks like for our football team. So I have a couple different memories here. I couldn't really decide, but I think I narrowed it down to what my favorite was. I know as coaches, we moved him to safety. So one of our fond memories is him dominating the edge against P&D, being super physical. I'm sure he wasn't feeling great after that game. Next one was, just being all over the place against Chicago Simeon. I think he had a pass breakup, we'll call it that ended up getting intercepted by somebody else. But he was just everywhere on that day, right? He was all over the field and was key to us playing well defensively. But the play that stands out to me is our kickoff return against Champaign Central. And for those of you that are at the game, I think you guys would be with me that even as coaches, I don't think any of us knew where the ball was at all. We're all looking for the ball. We thought, maybe Cooper had it or somebody else had it that was, returning it. And then all of a sudden we look down the field and, Jaxon's doing his track sprinter high step up the sideline. And he's, I don't think I've seen him run so fast. So I don't know if you just got to chase him with somebody, coach, or what. But it was a beautiful play. It's what football is all about. We had practiced starburst return, obviously throughout the season. And it was week 8 was our first opportunity to actually run it. And so when you work on something for that long, for it to finally come to fruition, and Jaxon getting that return touchdown is obviously a pretty special memory in my mind. So as you guys know, Jaxon decided to continue his academic and football career at University of Wisconsin-Platteville. They're getting an outstanding person, football player, student, somebody that is, highly motivated and driven. This was my 7th year as head coach, and I got a lot of respect for how Jaxon went about this process. He talked to every single school that came in. He was open to what everybody had to say, but when it came right down to it, he knew exactly what he wanted, and he made sure that he got the exact situation that worked for him. He was interested in finding an outstanding engineering program, number one. And then he was interested in finding, obviously, a high-quality football team as well. And I think that says a lot about the type of person Jaxon is, and I think it tells you exactly what you need to know about whether or not he's going to be successful in the future or not. Just extremely proud of him. Look forward to what he does in the future. Jackson's going to say a few thank yous, and then I don't know if he's going to sign or not, or yeah, okay, he's going to do that too. Here we go.
First off, I just want to thank God for putting me in this position in my life, because I wouldn't be anywhere without Him. I want to thank my parents / family. I wouldn't be here today without any of their support. Thank you for everything you guys have done for me. I love you guys. I want to thank my coaches and friends for giving me the much needed advice along the road, whether I wanted to hear it or not. I would also thank my trainers for very obvious reasons, because I would most definitely not be here without them. Go Pioneers.
So Jackson's going to sign something real quick, so his parents want to get a picture. Congratulations, Jaxon. All right, I'm here to introduce, Cooper Temple's going to North Central College. Obviously same format as before, so I apologize if I'm a little long-winded. So Cooper, we seem to have a running trend here. Played a lot of positions for us. Did a little bit of kick returner, dabbled in a little punter. Yeah, week 11, that was good. A little bit of linebacker, slot wide receiver, tight end, H-back, running back, quarterback. Where we needed him, he was more than willing to do whatever we asked. Over the course of his career, accumulated 528 yards rushing, 9 touchdowns. He had 22 catches, 346 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. Through 19 for 25, 80% completion percentage. And I think he'd like me to note that he had 0 interceptions, right? Is that what you? Yeah. Okay. All right. 180 yards and 4 touchdowns. And then we, asked him to start playing linebacker for us due to some depth issues, and was able to accumulate 16 tackles, a sack, and a tackle for loss, which probably doesn't tell the story of his impact defensively. Received all-conference, second-team all-conference recognition from the coaches in the Big 12 Conference as linebacker and running back, or just back. Also received honorable mention All-State as a athlete, quarterback, running back, linebacker, and then received Offensive Player of the Year and Team MVP as voted on by his teammates, and then is also going to be participating in the Shrine All-Star Game this summer. Couple things about Cooper. Has been an integral part of our football program over the past 4 years. His contributions to our football program have been about more than just football, though. I think the first thing that jumps out at me, and there's so many things I can get into just about his ability on the football field, but I think perseverance might be one of the best words to describe Cooper, and obviously. I think he's been a model of what it means to persevere. There's a lot of details that go into it, but he's faced more adversity in probably the last year and a half in his young life than most of us adults have probably faced our entire lives, to be honest. Notably, I'll talk about obviously his junior year came to an abrupt end with an ankle injury. Had an outstanding start to his junior season. But I know that the recovery was difficult and trying at times. But I didn't Cooper didn't tell me that. That wasn't him that was telling me about the trying times and how difficult that was. He would never do anything like that. He would just let you know that, hey, he's getting better and he'll be back soon. Most individuals would have probably used that as an excuse, but Cooper just continued to work hard and persevere. And I know that there are a lot of people that assisted in that recovery and helped elevate Cooper. And so, I think, as football and baseball, we as coaches, we thank you guys for elevating him, getting him to where he needed to be this year. Obviously, a huge part of both teams. My next characteristic is leader. Cooper was 2-year varsity captain for us. I usually save my memories for later, and I do have one, but Cooper was probably one of the individuals was one of the most excited about our team competitions in the summer. And I think it came right down to Cooper wanted to win. And I think he wanted to beat all the other teams. While as coaches, you want people to want to win, but what I was happy about is that he elevated everybody else. He made everybody else compete harder. He made everybody else work harder. And that's what you want out of a captain, out of a leader. On the field, he was a steadying force for us. Obviously, as I said before, he knew every position because he played every position. But, obviously was able to communicate and get everyone on the same page. Outside of all the great things that Cooper did on the field for our team, my favorite example of Cooper's leadership is quite honestly how he responded after his injury. Unfortunately, a lot of players tend to disappear after they get injured because we have this association that being a part of a football team means that you're able to play. Okay, and I think Cooper was an outstanding example of when he was able to. He was in there rehabbing with the trainers. He was present. He was there every day, except if he had to go to the doctor. And conveniently, on days that rained, he wasn't there much. It was a little tough sledding, quite honestly. But you would see him. We're in practice, and all of a sudden you'd see him just scooter out right on the practice field and be out there. And he just wanted to know what was going on. He wanted to be a part of the team. But that's an outstanding example to his teammates and hopefully to the future varsity football players of what it means to be a leader and obviously to care about the team above yourself. So showing up every day to practice, every game, when you don't have a chance to play, it's obviously easier to sit at home. Takes a high level of character and leadership. My last characteristic is, ties together with my last one, but it's unselfish. I feel like unselfish is a key trait of all leaders. But what I want to highlight here is Cooper's willingness to do whatever is best for the team, even if it meant he wasn't getting the football all the time. Quite honestly, as offensive coaches, Cooper is somebody that we relied on heavily to be successful on offense. We probably weren't hard to scout for because you probably just had to find out where 2 was going, and most likely that's where the ball was going. We were using him every way that we possibly could because he made us better. He elevated our football team. So that meant sometimes running routes, blocking DBs, which is probably his favorite. Sometimes it meant getting the ball as running back or receiver. Sometimes it meant playing linebacker. Probably the least favorite was probably being a fullback tight end, blocking big old defensive linemen or linebackers going to Notre Dame. But quite honestly, it was unselfish because he knew he wasn't getting the ball, but he may have been upset about it, but he never told you that because he was doing it to the highest level he possibly could. So I know that, I asked a lot of him, but as coaches, we knew that Cooper was a component for our football team and was a huge part of our success as we turned it around this year. And we couldn't thank him enough for that. I have a couple fond memories of Cooper. Comes down to two. I'm sure there's a bunch more. I have a lot of, I think it just surprised me. I think that's why it's one of my favorite memories. But the Simeon bomb that you threw to Malik, that was about 32 yards. It was just wasn't expected, but you nailed it. That was great. But I always love beating Peoria. So, my favorite memory is, the Cooper clinching the game with 3 minutes left, 3rd and 5 down on the 5-yard line. And just the excitement that we had coming from behind there to win that game. Obviously, it was a big play for our football team. It was a turning point, so it was big. Cooper has decided to continue his academic athletic career at North Central College. They are getting an outstanding young man and a football player that is capable of contributing in many ways and is probably willing to contribute in many ways. I really look forward to seeing how North Central utilizes his diverse skill set. Just extremely proud of him, fortunate to be able to coach him. So, Cooper, congratulations. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, so I didn't really have a speech, so I just want to give a couple thanks. So first off, I want to thank all my teammates over the years and all my other sport coaches. So they've been great. I wouldn't be here without any of them. I'd like to thank my friends and family as well, and also want to give a big thanks to Coach Fincham, because without him, like I said, I wouldn't be here right now. It means a lot to me that he put a ton of trust in me after my injury. And big thanks to the athletic training staff, because without them, I think I'd still be in 10 to 15 different pieces right now. So thank everybody else for coming out here today and supporting me.
Next is basketball with Coach Hoffman.
We're going to let the baseball team coach, right, head out for practice. Getting ready to play Normal East tomorrow and beat them again, right? So, all right, good luck to our baseball team. Yep. Owen. I have a speech. Hey, how many stitches did you have? You had twice though. Didn't you have stitches on your chip too one time? How many did you have? On the first one, on the second one. Second one was just one. First one, okay. All right, we're gonna resume here. So we're here to celebrate Owen taking the next big step in his basketball journey by signing with Eureka College. Now, if you looked at the stat sheet, you might not see the full picture of Owen's impact on our team and our program. Owen's journey at West started his freshman year playing limited minutes. He worked hard in practice and gave his best effort each and every time. The story continues pretty much the same during his sophomore year. He worked hard, did what his coach asked of him, and he had a great attitude. His junior year presented a different challenge for him with not a lot of opportunities at the varsity level. Midway through the season, we asked Owen if he would play at the JV level. Owen jumped at the opportunity to give him some court time to develop his game, which helped him out his senior year. He didn't hang his head. He did not complain, not for a second. He remained a constant source of positivity, an incredible teammate, always ready to support his fellow players on both the JV and varsity teams. Then came his senior year, and it was a testament to his perseverance. It included broken nose and a giant bloodbath in Mount Zion. I'll go a little bit off script here. We were, Owen being the biggest guy on our team, he's got to guard the biggest players on the court. And one injury that he took was against Mount Zion's Division I top 5 tight end in the nation. And at one point we looked over and Owen's holding his head, and there's just blood absolutely everywhere. And it took at least 10 minutes for them to clean the floor off. And I thought, we're probably gonna not have Owen for a couple of days. I called his parents and talked to them that night, and he went to the ER in Bloomington Normal. and got stitches. He came back ready to play, almost right away. His other injury that he had took place after one of his best basketball games against Pontiac High School. And in the Pontiac game, he was blocking shots, getting rebounds, making his presence be known in both ends, offensive and defensively. And on the other end, he was injured by a giant from Mount Zion. The next practice, he got injured, a broken nose, by one of our smallest managers in a drill. And again, blood everywhere. I'm thinking in my mind, we might not have him for the next 3 to 4 weeks, maybe the entire season. That wasn't the case. Owen came back. He decided not to go with surgery, which would have ended his senior year, and played with a mask. What truly sets Owen apart is his unwavering positive attitude. Win or lose, he always was the first to offer encouragement, pick somebody up, and keep our spirits high. That's the kind of leadership, that's the kind of character that you just can't teach, and it's something that will take him far at Eureka College and beyond. So we're incredibly proud of Owen, and you embody everything we strive for in our program: hard work, dedication, teamwork, and a positive spirit. Congratulations. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Coach Hofferman, for the kind words. Thank you to everybody who came out here today. Just want to thank my friends, teammates, family, coaches, specifically my mom, my dad, and my sister, who all believed in me even on days when I didn't believe in myself. I'm just incredibly grateful to everybody who made this possible along the way, and I won't take a second of this for granted. Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have our swim coach, Coach Fudge.
Hi, I'm Dawn Fudge, head coach here for boys and girls swimming and diving, and I'm especially excited to be here with Skylar this evening. It holds something special in my heart because I've known Skylar and his family for many years. I coached his older sister and him for USA Swimming and Club, and then now through high school, so I've known him as a little tyke on the deck. So watching him grow has been a great experience, and so I'm so proud to see you here moving on to your next level in college. Skylar is really fun to be around. He is a committed athlete, an academic athlete. He works tremendously hard in and out of the pool, even if it's 5:30 a.m., 6 a.m. So he's there ready to go. He's constantly asking what he can do different to improve. Little things, big things. He'll do anything we request during practice, so I'm excited to see him swim at Iowa Central. They have a good one coming. So Skylar excelled his senior year, going out with some great memories and achievements. Our boys team this year excelled, and it was a super season for everyone. Skylar was a huge part of that. He, intercity champs, Skylar placed first in 2 individual events and joined relay teams to earn 2 first place finishes as well as intercity champs. Big 12 conference champs again. Skylar placed second in 2 individual events and joined 3 other members of the team to place first to win us Big 12 conference this year. Moving on to sectionals. Skylar was part of 2 relay teams that qualified for IHSA state competition, as well as an individual event. For those of you guys who are not familiar with swimming in Illinois, It's not like any other sport. There's no classes, there's no divisions, it's just one. It's one competition, and every single high school who has a swimming or diving program and has people that qualify go to the state competition. So it's high quality. Illinois swimming is one of the fastest swimming states in the country. Just him being qualifying to be there is an incredible achievement for him. So going on to the state competition, Skylar was able to get his best time again in the 50 free, placing 28th, which is huge if you think about the entire state of Illinois and every school in Illinois, along with his relay teams, medley relay placing 28th and free relay placing 22nd. So huge accomplishment for him. I'm excited to see where your future goes and holds. Can't say more about you, Skylar. It's been a trip. It's been great. Thank you.
Firstly, I just want to thank God for everything. I wouldn't be here without him, and the dreams that I can be the best that I can be. And I also want to thank that my family and friends, my teammates, my coach Don. Without them, I wouldn't be where I am right now. And I'm really just excited for the next level, going to Iowa Central, and hopefully becoming a national champ later on. And I know that whatever comes next, I can get the work done. And so yeah, thank you.
Did they click the thing? Hi, I'm Dave Lair, the head wrestling coach here at West. I'm here to talk about Dylan McGrew. Dylan is a valuable member and captain of the Normal West wrestling team. He's been wrestling a total of 7 years, 4 of them for West and all of them varsity. Some of Dylan's accomplishments include placing at Frostsoft State his sophomore year, as well as being a state and Fargo Greco national qualifier his junior year. Dylan played a key role in our teams at Big 12 Conference Championships in 22 and 23, placed second this year in the conference tournament. Dylan was an absolute dominant wrestler, placing in every regular season tournament this year, including first place finishes at regionals and sectionals, making Dylan only the 9th wrestler in West history to qualify for state in more than 1 year. Dylan has earned places on our all-time record boards. He scored 163 team points 1 year, 179 team points another year. He's earned 33 and 36 varsity wins in a season, and he is one of only 6 wrestlers in West history to amass over 100 career varsity wins. Dylan's also been a Big 12 Scholar athlete multiple times. Success got him named the Chuck Murdoch all-area team. In addition to wrestling, he was a part of the golf team during his time here at Normal West. And fun fact, Dylan is really amazing at pickleball. Illinois Wesleyan is so lucky to be adding Dylan to their school and wrestling team. He is a true wrestler in every sense of the word. Right? He is not afraid of hard work. He gets a little crabby when he's cutting weight. He's willing to do the extra, right, which is obvious in all of his accomplishments he's earned during his time here at West. And he never backs down from a challenge. Congratulations, Dylan, on your high school career and for your commitment to continue wrestling in Illinois Wesleyan. Dylan, see if you can keep your speech a little bit shorter than Coach Fincham's.
All right. First of all, I wanted to say thank you all for coming out, and I just want to give a big thanks to everybody, like my parents for bringing me all my tournaments, and Griffin for putting up with all my crap. Got into a few fights at like probably every other practice, so that was tough. And then I just want to give big thanks to my coaches and then all my teammates along the way. I grew my most here at West, and it was mostly for being surrounded by good teammates and talent. Thank you all.
Hello, I'm Margaret Lair, the other Coach Lair. I am the head girls wrestling coach here at Normal West. Quick show of hands, how many of you knew that girls wrestling was a sport here in Illinois? That makes me glad. Okay, it is quite new, and the reason I ask that is because it is the fastest growing sport in the nation currently across the entire United States, but it's still quite new here in Illinois. We were the 30-something state to sanction it as a sport, which means that we've only had 3 state tournaments so far for the girls. So just keep that in mind, that as Vivian was growing in the sport as an athlete here at Normal West, and thankfully we have a district that supports it, she was also constantly having to kind of fight with those social expectations of what came along with it. So this is really a big deal for Vivian. I'm so excited to be here today to congratulate Vivian on her decision to continue wrestling at Eureka College. Vivian has been a key member of our program here, helping us grow and actually have a separate team for the girls here at Normal West. She has been wrestling for 7 years total, starting her career at Kingsley Junior High, and then 4 years total here at Normal West. All of this time has allowed Vivian to acquire significant success in her growth, especially over the last 2 years. She has amassed almost 50 career wins, which has placed her on the record boards for our team. We have separate record boards that we've now created for the girls, and she's right there up at the top for both wins, pins, and takedowns. Vivian's accomplishments overall include 22 and 23 IWCOA state placer. She had placed in almost every tournament her junior year and placed in every tournament her senior year. She has competed, previously we just had sectionals straight to state, so she's competed at a sectionals tournament. She's competed at multiple regional tournaments, and this year she qualified from regionals into sectionals by placing 4th at the regional tournament. She works hard in the classroom as well, which has earned her Big 12 Scholar Athlete multiple seasons. She has been an ultimate leader for us, which has led her to having multiple firsts for our team. She was the first Lady Wildcat to wrestle a match at the Intercity Tournament. She was named our first captain of the Lady Wildcat team, and she will be our first female wrestler to compete at the collegiate level, and that's pretty huge. During her time here at West, Vivian also has been a member of the track team and is an active member of the Best Buddies program. And through that time in the Best Buddies program, that's really what led her to her decision to go to college, to study special education, to become a teacher, and then in addition to that, continue her wrestling career. So we are incredibly proud of Vivian, and I am super excited to see what she does with her career at Eureka College. Thank you.
I really just want to thank my family and all of my coaches that I've had over the past 7 years, and all of my teammates for never giving up on me and always believing in me.
Oh, and up next we will have Coach Walker to introduce his athlete for girls soccer. So do you have a five-page essay you're going to be reading us, Coach Walker? 5 pages.
I yielded most of my time to Coach Fincham, so we're going to keep it short. So I'm Coach Walker. I'm the head soccer coach for boys and girls, and I want to introduce Peyton Cornejo and congratulate her on her signing to Green Bay, Wisconsin women's soccer team. Before I go into Peyton, I want to congratulate all the athletes here that signed to play the next level. Having two sons that went on to play at some of the highest levels, it's a really honor, a big honor to be able to accomplish this. You made a lot of sacrifices, and I have word for you. The sacrifices have just now begun. So you have a lot of hard work ahead of you. Embrace it, enjoy the wins, and don't get too down on the losses. It's going to be a long road, so congratulations. So I'm here to talk about Peyton. Peyton was a part of our varsity team as a freshman, and now she's returned to the team as a senior. And so a couple stats here. Girls soccer, high school girls players, 9.6% of high school players actually go on and play college soccer, and only 2.3% get to play Division I. And so that is a huge accomplishment for Peyton Cornejo. So I want to congratulate you on that. So if you could give you a round of applause for that. Also want to congratulate her family, Amy and Freddie, and the rest of her family back there. It takes tremendous sacrifice on everyone's part to be able to accomplish this. Like I alluded before, she played 2 seasons with us. As a freshman, I wrote in 2022 as I actually gave her an award, a nomination for all conference. So in my notes from 2022, I wrote she had 10 goals, 3 assists. Peyton is a freshman who started for us this year in the midfield. She is a critical player in our system. She's great at winning balls in the midfield, ability to control the midfield, creating opportunities. She had a decisive goal against PND to clinch our conference title. So that was from 2022 as a freshman. We won Intercity that year. We won our conference, and she was a huge part of our success as a freshman. She went on to play 2 years of travel. For those of you who don't understand soccer, you have to really go far and wide to achieve your goals, and she put all the hard work and sacrifices in, and she played 2 years of travel soccer up north, and that comes with 18 plus hours of car ride per week, and it is, she had to sacrifice a lot, her friends, her time. She had to work really hard to achieve these goals. Coming back as a senior to help us, we're still in contention for the conference championship, and she's a huge part of what we're doing there. And we want to go well beyond the postseason. In the postseason, and again, she's a leader. She's a captain of her team, and so she has been great for us, and we wish her good luck to the next level. Coach Kagan, her coach to come, will get a passionate player, a hardworking player, a very skilled player, and a leader. And she's really helped us in all those categories, so in order for us to be having such a successful year. So again, congratulations, Peyton, and the mic is yours.
Okay, so I really didn't write a speech, but first I want to thank God for being there and giving me the opportunity to play for all these years. And I also want to thank my grandpa in heaven for inspiring me to keep playing. He's the reason I do this. And I want to give thanks to my family and my friends for doing all that they do, and especially my little sister for pushing me to be as hard as I can. And I also want to give thanks to the families of the parents that drive me to Chicago and let me have that opportunity to play up there. So, and I want to give thanks to Coach Walker for freshman year and this year of giving me the opportunity to play again and just be a leader on the team and do what I do. So I want to give thanks to everyone for also being here, guys.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to wrap things up. What I'm going to do, as we finish up, if you want to come up and have pictures taken, I believe there's some food throughout the cafeteria, but most importantly, thanks for coming, and to our athletes, congratulations. Go probably want their own picture up.